He already. I've used 9 hours and 20 something minutes of my free StreamYard time. And I think the vast majority of that one was what you call it. Wells and Bullrush fucking showed up and we stayed up until like, well, like 5:30 in the morning, my fucking time. So apparently, he's got all the time in the world to talk about things, which is fine. Hey, that's great. You know, I sort of have the same time as well. Jesus. Hang on. Am I out of bitters? Jesus. Yep, I'm out. Son of a bitch. I'll have to get another one. Hang on, I'll be right back. Should have fucking known this was gonna happen. Two bitters. Bitters, orange bitters specifically, one of those things that, and even regular bitters, your aromatic bitters, is what you use, I think, in the Manhattan. That's been real fucking hard to come by, you know, without it being $11 a bottle, and and let alone the orange bitters. That's what I use for my what do you call it? Basically zero carb margaritas, which is what I'm making now. Why am I doing it? Because why the fuck wouldn't you? That's why I like my margaritas like that. You know what? Plenty of tequila. This time it's Reposado because Blanco was out of stock. They're the same price, so no real skin off my back there. Angostura orange bitters, lime juice. And you top it off with a seltzer water. You got a pretty good margarita. Of which shit, that's what I was supposed to do. Hang on. Glad I got a mason jar handy. What the fuck is in the bottom of this? I don't care. The liquor will kill it. I get to, I have chili lime salt. Salt the rim. It's been a while since I've been salting the rims. I did it last night. Oh, Jesus. As I'm spilling shit into it, I just run all this fucking salt. Try to see if I can get that online too. Got it from Walmart, of which they started the mandatory face mask thing, of which I've heard kind of mixed results on them actually enforcing it. But either way, I've been getting the curbside delivery, and I'll tell you what, I'm a huge fucking fan of that, dude. I don't think, you know, I might do it just to get some walking in and stuff like that. You know, you can get at least a decent half a mile walk just going around the perimeter of that store. I mean, it is a super center after all. You can get groceries and all that stuff there too. I think that's what that means. But yeah, I've enjoyed every fucking minute of just, you know, shopping online. It's like, okay, we check out here, you know, okay, you're gonna show up here. I got this time slot. They bring your shit to you. You don't have to get out of the car. Just hand it to you and all that stuff. And it's good. I like it. I really do. I debated on smoking a cigar tonight. I have a black one. I don't remember what the hell it's called, but it's about as dark as, well, something else this cigar shape, but is attached to me. Actually, I'm going to check since the camera's not on. Jesus. Baker, you're going to get inappropriate on your show? Every show is inappropriate. Actually, it's about a half a shade darker than I. Okay. Who cares? Whoa, this is spicy. I don't think I've had a spicy cigar before. This is interesting. This would pair well with Zinfandel, my favorite varietal of wine. Which the only thing that comes close to it, or I guess is kind of the clone of it, is Periano, which is the Italian version. Zinfandel, in case you don't know, mainly comes from Lodi, California, a small town in wine country. And that was a powdered version, I think, of Periano. That's why it's called Old Vine. Wow, I'm getting another one of these. Jesus. This one I just opened up, right? I think it is. Cool. I am getting another one of these. Yes, I'm over half an hour late to my own damn show. I hope everybody was sitting down for that. Couple reasons. That's a good margarita. Tell you what. It's Saturday night. This is the wide open phones version. I don't expect anybody to call them because I end up showing up late anyways. And also, hopefully, either you're, you're asleep, you're either in somebody or somebody's inside of you. You're inseminating or doing the insemination. Maybe you're cooking or something. You're waiting for a pizza to be delivered. Who knows? Maybe you're actually out and about. Maybe you went to the bar. Maybe you have a place where where last call is it at 9:45. Maybe you're at a place like that. Hopefully you are. But everybody else, those of us who aren't so lucky, who don't like the face mask thing, and even if you do, comply with the face mask thing, again, all these other fucking restrictions, as far as nightlife goes. That's what this particular show is about. This is what Wide Open Phones is for. It was originally called Saturday Night Live for the obvious reasons. Damn, that's good. And I don't even, I paid what, $4 or $5 for this? This ain't bad. I like it. But there are people out there who, maybe they are staying home. Maybe they're sheltering in place. Who knows? Oh, this does have a lot of fuel in it. Okay. I got a new lighter. That's what you were hearing. That's what I just set down. That's what this was. I've needed an oven lighter since the other one I had went out because it's refillable, but apparently not anymore. And so I was going to get one off of Walmart. Again, big fan of them. I could not find one in there that I could guarantee was refillable. So I looked on Amazon, and this one was like $16 or something. It was like, it's got all these other features for it. It's the butane one that I've been looking for that you can refill. It's a grill lighter, so you're not at risk of burning your hands off. It's a little bit closer than, your standard grill lighter. But still good enough. And you can tell this is good quality construction. It even has a fucking lock feature, so I guess if you need to leave the flame on for whatever reason, you can lock it open. It even most lighters, like it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like this, I'm holding it now. It's a lighter that basically kind of has a waiter's corkscrew built into it in a real tiny package. How long is this actually? Let's measure that. I have my measuring tape here. It's just shy of 3 inches. So to fit in your pocket just fine, but you ever try to open a bottle of wine with a corkscrew that's less than 3 inches long? A little bit of an issue. Man, I gotta find this one again. This is a good one. This is a real good one. The cigar, I mean. And not just because it's almost the same color as you know. What the hell was that? Opera accessing audio video input, touch return. No. Okay, whatever. Heard some. I put the number for this show in the group chat. Number if you want to call in. Oh Jesus. Nick, of course, he's asking for stream. I can't do StreamYard, or I can't do that now. Reason being is because I don't have the audio equipment to do that. Tell him about that. Give me a second. Yeah, I've had a lot of YouTube videos. They kind of crashed and burned because shit went wrong. And now I'm just doing it like this. That's just for now. Next week, there won't be one, more than likely. Knock on wood. Oh, wait, here's some wood. Knock on wood. I'll be in Salt Lake City with Nick Schulaner and Rob Says and Joe Curl and Vince and TJ and Atham and everybody else. Mick Tubis as well. We'll be out there having a good time. So just a heads up, you're listening to this. Probably won't be an end times report. Probably won't be a wide open phones. Now, that could happen. Who fucking knows? But, you know, I've been working with minimal material, minimal equipment. I've had a lot of shit fuck up. So that's why I'm doing things the way that I'm doing them. But I can do the phone thing. So, again, if you want to call in, that's what I'm not the only one that does this. The Michael Deacon program, he went live today. I don't think he had anybody call in, but he does live call in. I don't know if he does it the same way I do, but that's how I do it. Same with Chris Von Erich. I don't know if he has a website, but he does the same thing. You call in. And so that's what I'm doing now. So if you like to call in and talk about literally whatever you want, it's wide open phones. I have my own topics. I don't have to have anybody call in. Trust me, I can hold the show for at least an hour or so. Probably even more. But if you want to call in and talk about literally anything you want to talk about, that is 253-397-8430. That is 253-397-8430. In case you're wondering about the banner or the description here, if you know me and a lot of the things that I've come from, you will know maybe the Gary Dino show. GaryDino.com. We have a caller here. Let's get that set up. Hello, caller. You're on Wide Open Phones. Hello.
Dude, what happened to your audio equipment?
You know exactly what happened.
Again?
Look, I don't have the fucking time. I could try to do fucking StreamYard or whatever, but you've seen what happens.
I have.
So for the time being, and I'm actually liking this particular format, as I just got through saying, you know, I'm not the only one that does this. Michael Deacon of the Michael Deacon program and Chris Von Erich, that's the one you probably would know, Redlands guy. He does You Got a Problem. You have people call in. I actually called into his latest show. So I'm doing it like this for now. Will it be like this forever? No, it won't. I'll have other shit ready to go. But
in 2040.
Yeah, right after Cappy gets his house built.
And Atham and I graduate.
When are you supposed to be graduating, by the way, Nick? We're talking to Nick Schuler, nickschuler.com, I'm going to assume.
I don't know. At the rate I'm going, like another year and a half or so.
When did you start?
2016. I took some time off in between all that, though.
All right, that's not bad. Did you see the title of the show?
Something about militia. I'm going to guess you got banned again.
No.
I missed it. Tell me that fucking story.
Well, that story is coming up. By the way, another one that came up, I was just talking about this.
Dude, you've been going for like an hour and you still haven't gotten to the title story?
It's been 17 fucking minutes, dude. Hey, Padawan. Patience. Jesus Christ.
I thought you started at midnight.
I was supposed to. I got held up. The reason I was held up, we're going to get to that.
All right. Can I get the estimate of what decade we're going to get to that?
You'll start getting the girls by the time we get to that. How about that?
So you should have gotten that like 2 years ago, man. You're a little bit behind schedule.
All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, buddy. All right. Sure. Well, just to address that topic, and that's just what I was going to talk about. I wasn't even going to talk about what I just fucking heard. That was something I just kind of walked into. Long story short, Gary Dino, GaryDino.com. The reason this is titled Militia is because that's what they call themselves. They call themselves the Third Man Militia. And they're actually, you know, as far as things go, unless you express the wrong opinions, apparently, you know, they're actually a pretty tight-knit group. You know, you've had people like they've sponsored other people to listen to the show. And have had other people like, you know, they've moved people in, gotten people jobs. You know, people who are down on their luck, like they've donated money to them so they could get groceries and shit like that. You would think that's a pretty fucking tight-knit group. You know? And for the most part, they are. They've even been that way with me. They've given me extra fucking food. They've given me extra beer. I have one beer that I got that I shouldn't have fucking grabbed because I guess I didn't need it. It was at the last meal we had in Vegas, I think. Vegas or, what do you call it? No, it was in Palm Springs. It was for the Spring Broke event. Basically, I was there on pretty much a budget, so I didn't have that much money. So a lot of it, they were giving me fucking beers. I still have it. It's kind of a trophy. And I still have a sticky note, and there's like Third Man Militia, pay it forward. And so that's the type of group we're thinking about here. You know, you think about a group where it's like it's tight knit. You like they're there for each other. You know, through thick and thin or whatever. But then the whole Black Lives Matter thing fucking happened. Were you there when the Black Lives Matter thing happened, Nick?
Hang on. Which time?
Well, the George Floyd thing. Specifically the Blackout Tuesday thing.
I don't think so.
Wait, seriously, you weren't paying attention to that?
Not in the Gary Dino world.
Well, put it this way, and I knew this may...
Wait a minute. Is that the Patty thing?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Ow.
How you doing over there?
I'm alright. I'm just tired.
Okay. Nick does not have night vision like I do, so he's bumping into shit. Anyways, Ray John's in the chat, by the way.
Oh, God. I'm going to guess he's playing video games right now.
He just said what's up. He didn't say he was playing video games. I'm sure that's the next...
Ray John, are you playing video games? Yes or no will do, motherfucker.
All right. Nick's asking, not me. I don't care. Play all the video games you want. Anyways, yeah, like Nick said, you know, Patty, and by the way, it wasn't just Patty. There's other things that happened. I was on a Zoom meeting, not a Zoom meeting, but a Zoom party kind of. That's what they've been doing every Saturday because, you know, since all this bullfuck, you know, broke out. One of the things, and I even said myself, was like, maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. One of the, call her a militia mom order because she's a woman that's in this. Her name is Mandy. She's down in some suburb of Portland. And let's just put it this way. Well, let's put it this way. Well, she ended up catching her own, and she caught a real fucking bad time with it. She had real bad symptoms. I even said I felt, you know, something for, you know, that's somebody that I've met, you know, several times in person. I don't want to see this person suffer. Okay, there was that time where she almost fucking got sucked into the sand at the Salton Sea.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. She lost a shoe there. It was hilarious.
Okay.
Now, granted, if I thought she was in actual danger, I would have actually, you know, stepped in to go get her. But I knew she wasn't. Everybody else was helping her, so I just sat back and laughed. Kind of like what you would do, even if they were fucking dying.
Guilty as charged.
Uh-huh.
I mean, heck, if this was back a few years ago, I might have been the reason she was in danger. Just ask the punching bag how she knows.
I believe you. I believe it. By the way, Ray John, I don't know if you are able to call in from Canada or this side of Washington State, or wherever the fuck you keep saying you're in. Phone number, call-in number for this show, Wide Open Phones, 253-397-8430. That is 253-397-8430. We continue. I even made sure I told her, it was like, look, I was laughing at you. That probably didn't make you feel good, but in fair, like, I would have came in and got you if I thought you were in trouble. I knew you were okay. And she was fine with it afterwards. You know, she's able to roll with those kind of punches. And there you go. Ray John LeBrondo. I like to play video games. He didn't say he was playing them now. He just says he likes them.
Well, it's almost 1 a.m. on a Saturday night. I can't imagine what else he'd be doing.
What are these bars you speak of?
No fucking idea. It's not like Pullman's full of them or anything like that.
Question. What are the... maybe you don't know about this because I don't think you go to bars all that often. Are they doing the fucking closing times at like 9:45 out there too?
Yes.
Jesus.
Probably.
Maybe probably. Okay, well there you go. There's your next homework assignment. Go to a fucking bar and see if they close before midnight. And then
Why
report
the
back to
hell
us.
would I go to a bar?
Huh?
Why the hell would I go to a bar?
It's a homework assignment.
I
had to do it for my area, you get to do it for yours. By the way, I'm going to be out there next week, so that's kind of important to know. Anyways, for whatever reason, I mentioned that she got the COVID and she got a lot of complications from that. She's okay now, as far as I could tell. But what I brought up was like, look, you're overweight. You look like somebody who's from Portland, the home of the other white meat. And that is a saying that Tom Likas himself, which everybody else who falls into that banner, they fucking heard about this shit ahead of time. Years and years at a time. We're talking about going back to the 90s. He's been saying this shit. So I'm not treading new ground, is what I'm saying. And she took offense to that. What's more, when the whole Black Lives Matter thing came out, Patty, as you saw, she had this thing where like some black guy who was about my size, who has a daughter, basically was afraid to step outside his front door. And I called him a fucking pussy. I called him a fucking coward. You want to know why I called him a coward?
Because you're black from the waist down and you've never had that type of fear.
Precisely. I lived in a worse neighborhood than this fucker did.
Really? You've only mentioned it a million fucking times.
What's 1,000,001? Well, hey, I'm doing this on YouTube. I don't think I've talked about that here, so that's one reason why I'm doing it.
No, you have.
There we go. Hey, just covered all my bases. That's all. That's all, man. And so she blocked me, and then she wanted to get together and talk about that. I got into it with a bunch of other.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's when I first introduced the popcorn emoji.
Yeah, thanks, asshole.
Hey, you're the one that offered to give me a ride to the Salt Lake Beatdown.
Hey, y'all motherfuckers want to fight me? There we go. The Salt Lake Beatdown. I'm 100% in.
Yep. And by the way, guys, if any of you want to try to kill Bacon, give us and everyone else in the Airbnb advance notice so we can prepare our lawn chairs and popcorn.
I'll provide the fucking beers.
All right. Specify who gets what in your will. Prepare. I'll help you draft a will.
I find your lack of faith in me disturbing here. Thanks a lot.
Dude, I'm shooting myself in the foot. Because if you're dead, I got to figure out how to get home.
As always, TJ Martinell. TJMartinell.com, by the way.
If he's sane, he won't offer me a ride home.
That's assuming he's sane.
Fair enough. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here in the first place.
Exactly. So we have that interview, and I'm glad I did it the way I did it. I did like I did basically every Laughter Humanity show. It was Instagram Live. It was 2 hours. So it was just me and her. It's kind of like when me and you were there. Like, you could only have one guest, but everybody else can comment or whatever. It was just me and her talking, but everybody else can comment. And basically the way that went was like, Mandy spurred the fuck out. Charlie, who was the one that told me to apologize to her, I asked him about this. Like, he had his own weird fucking way of doing things, so he did his things the way he did it. And then other people just showed up, basically just being fucking spurgs. And again, these are supposed to be fucking third militia members. Now, at the end of it, to give a silver lining, which I don't know if it's even a silver lining, because she still has you blocked on certain channels. We were okay. It was like, we met each other. We've fucking broken bread together. We met each other several fucking times. I have her phone number. She has my phone number. You know, and we're okay. We're just fine. She's the one that made the big fucking chicken sandwiches and shit at the what do you call it? The spring break thing. And I've told her, you know, like she lives in Inglewood actually. So I told her if you know if I ever end up in Inglewood for like a couple of days, you know, we can go to Little Woody's barbecue or something. If you're in Inglewood, that's a good place to go get barbecue. By the way, Little Woody's barbecue. But as far as I can tell, we ended on good terms. We figured that out. Now, fast forward to the last 2 or 3 weeks, Gary and Dino, they've been doing Zoom chats, you know, just to kind of talk to the third man militia or whatever. And this whole episode, that was like 2 or 3 or probably even longer. Like, it was a long fucking time ago, basically. It was like 4 or 5 months ago. And so I've been messaging Gary specifically, who's the one that hosts these. What are these video games you speak of? That's Ray John's comment.
Ah, you're learning. Good for you, Ray John. I feel so proud.
I hope you do. So I messaged him like, hey, you know, I'd love to come back in. You know, he's doing things and stuff like crazy, you know, Hawaiian shirts. I have my Hawaiian shirt. You probably saw the last Zoom meeting, the one with Sterling Cooper on it.
Oh, yeah. Did somebody say Hawaiian shirt?
I don't know if that qualifies as a Hawaiian shirt, but you know, it's close enough. One of the last ones was, you know, bring your own jersey. By the way, guess what kind of jersey I have?
I don't know.
As a hint, if you're on Twitter, he goes by yours truly. He also he was the black guy who was going to play the Terminator before Arnold Schwarzenegger did it. He played for the Buffalo Bills.
Dude, I don't keep up on that.
Well, let's just pretend you knew the answer and you guessed O.J. Simpson. So since you guessed O.J. Simpson, in my mind, you won a prize.
You're starting to sound like a participation trophy, Bacon.
So I had that ready to go. I sent him a picture of that. And I kept sending him, I was like, okay, am I okay to go in? You know, like, or whatever, you know. And it's been like 3 weeks. I've gotten no replies from him. Keep in mind, Gary monitors his email pretty fucking religiously. Like, back when this whole fucking thing went down, I was like, he sent messages like, okay, like, I don't want to be involved in whatever fucking snafu is going on right now. So he's aware of this. I'm going to assume Dino is aware of it as well. We've been on good terms for like 4 or 5 fucking years now. And now, because of this bullshit, nobody's communicating with me anymore.
What is this pariah you speak of?
His name is Bacon, and apparently he was okay. I've been in person with these people for years now.
Why did you choose the name Bacon the Banished on Twitter? No idea why, dude.
Good point. We're cleansing everything out. But I've been in person with all of these people for fucking years now. Every fucking event. One of the Tom Likas events, like the one that at Palisade over in Magnolia. Spring Broke in Vegas. Salt and Sea down in Palm Springs area. Gun John's place, they had the pool party over in Renton, where no one's buying. That's where I actually first met them. We've been cool this whole fucking time. And now, This is Black Lives Matter thing. And then you can tell me I'm repeating myself. A black guy from black culture may have something to say that goes slightly against what they had to fucking say, or goes against their politics. And guess what? Bam. We don't want your kind around here anymore.
What is this cancel culture you speak of?
Right? By the way, good targeting as far as that you speak of thing. That's pretty good.
I sometimes take your advice to heart.
Hey, at least sometimes you fucking do it. That beats everyone else out. Most people just don't listen to me at all.
Yeah, it's probably because they're sane.
Probably. I was like, that's what it took? You have somebody who literally lives the same fucking life that you claim that you care about. In your circle. He's been in your circle for years. And he has something contrary to say. And now you're just going to fucking turn against him? Really? Even though one of the main people who actually tried to fucking reach out, and again, I gotta give Patty credit. She reached out, she tried to fucking have a conversation with me. We did have a conversation, actually. Despite the comment section.
And the popcorn.
And the popcorn. And us arguing back and forth. We weren't exactly happy the entire time. Well, at the end, we basically fucking shook hands. It's like, okay, we understand where we're both coming from, Like, I may disagree with you, but I get it. We had an understanding afterwards, even if we didn't agree 100%. We didn't see eye to eye. Like, we were okay. But I'm still fucking mad here. Okay, really? To the point where Gary himself, he won't even answer my fucking emails. I'm just checking. I was like, hey, hope you're doing okay. Or is it okay if I come in? If it's not, that's fine. Whatever. Just let me know. You could let me know. I was like, we don't want you to come here for whatever reason. Because people are still salty. He could have fucking said that. And I'd have been fine. Like, okay, I don't agree with it, but I understand. Most of the Gary Dino, show people, the Thermos, they're a little bit more left-leaning, more than I am. Which I don't lean in any direction, but that's another discussion entirely. But okay, at least let me fucking know. I couldn't even get that. This is out of Gary. Real fucking solid person. I met this guy in person. He's a real fucking solid character. This is a guy I thought, if shit goes down, maybe I could depend on him. Apparently not. But again, I'm glad. It's like my clutch job. I told you about the clutch job, right?
Yep.
So I'm not going to rehash it here then. Basically, everything went wrong, and I found the right person to deal with it. Now, he charges $20 per hour more than the average, but it's worth every fucking red cent. Like, the initiative that this guy took, like, the things that he saw was like, okay, this needs to be taken care of, so I'm going to take care of it. And by the way, he solved it 3 times faster than somebody who's, who does the regular rate. So it's even cheaper then. You always pay for quality. You pay for quality. You never lose money paying for quality. But it's like everything else. It's like, okay, this sucks, but I'm glad I learned this ahead of time. It could have been 45,
November.
It could have been 45 days from now. 44 now because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I could have found that out then. And talk about being up Ship's Creek.
Without a paddle.
Exactly.
Isn't that how the expression goes?
Yep. I could have found that out when it was too late. I'm finding a lot of this shit out now. I found out my landlord wasn't going to stand with me at the place that I was before. I found out that, hell, the 95%, they are going to go head in until it's too fucking late, until the knives are going through their throats, until there's bullets going to the back of their heads. I found that out. I found out which companies, like, that supplied my fucking internet or phone or whatever. I found out they aren't going to be reliable. And literally everything else. Like, it's been a cleansing fucking year. And sad as I am to say it, to be honest, I'm dead serious. I'm sad to see this. Like, they're okay as long as you meet the fucking agenda. Everything else they're fucking cool with. They'll back you up. They'll help you get fucking employment. They'll even house you at some points. But if you step outside the fucking narrative, they'll fucking fillet your ass. And that, in my book, makes them no better than any of the other fucking groups that you see me fucking do battle against, whether it's leftists or it's even the fucking rightists. See the 15-minute philosophy Patriots article. And so I'm glad this happened. Not just because of that. Now I know. But what's the silver lining, Nick?
The machete.
Well, there's that too. That's always a silver lining. I have machetes on my side, I can never lose once I have machetes on my side. There we go.
All seriousness aside, the real silver lining is that now you know.
I gotta say, again, it's like, this is one of the most tight-knit groups I've ever fucking seen. They've been there. I've been there for them. There's you're not gonna know, probably not gonna know who this is. There's 2 listeners to the Tom Likas show, and they're kind of Thurman Militia too. They're the Laurens. There's one that's called Black Lauren. She's in Virginia, I think. And there's White Lauren. I can't remember where she is. Now, White Lauren, she's known for doing like all the sexual innuendos and shit. Shit that I would do, basically.
So she's like the female version of you.
Sort of.
That's what I'm hearing.
But long story short, she ended up getting sexually assaulted. And kind of like what you did with us, basically, with Team Let 'Em Burn. We're talking about them in a minute.
What?
She was basically in the point where after that, she didn't know if she could talk to anybody that was in the Third Man Militia because of what she went through. Now, I don't know if you know this. I've talked to a lot of women, way more than I should have. Given our progressive society, this shit is way more widespread than anybody actually fucking knows.
What, sexual assault?
Particularly on women when they're in their fucking single-digit years, by the way. But this is a more recent event Somebody had asked in the Facebook. This is while I was on Facebook. Somebody asked where White Lauren was, and so I reached out to her, and she told me, kind of what happened. I'm not gonna recreate it here. And she was saying that, basically, she was basically hiding from the Thurman militia because she didn't know what they would think of her if they had found out what had happened to her. And so I told her, look.
Wait a minute, wait. If they're left-leaning, what? You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Continue.
So I told her, look, that's what they're there for. These are your friends. They may not be family. You may not be able to see them in person all the time, but these are the people who are going to be there for you. That's what they're there for. And they make that very explicit, so reach out to them. And so she did. She reached out to him, and Patty, bless her, she had something to say about it. Charlie, I think, did as well. Chuck in Powell Butte, Oregon. I think even either Gary or Dino reached out to her as well. It's like, look, they're there for you. We don't condone what happened to you, but we're there to help you deal with the aftermath, basically. And so, essentially, I'm instrumental in actually getting one of the Third Man Militia women, support from the rest of the fucking militia. Now, whether they remember this, I don't know. I'm going to guess not, because this is back in 2015, 2016, something like that. People tend to forget that shit. She didn't. When I was getting attacked by a bunch of people and then ended up getting my Facebook account banned for 24 hours, she was one of the people who jumped in and was like, hey, you think this guy hates women? He literally told this woman, Lauren Rothman, Jose, he went out of his way to help me. That's what she said. Of course, she was talking to the mom, so that didn't fucking help at all. I even told her as much.
Talking to a wall you speak of?
What's that?
What is this talking to a wall you speak of?
That's what I learned not to do online anymore. Yeah, she's still fucking grateful for that. And I'm glad. It's not that I'm trying to take credit for that or anything. I'm not trying to win any brownie points. I'm just saying, I've been there for the Third Man Militia. It wasn't even her. I think it was another person who had a problem too. I can't remember who it was or who it is. But I've been there for him. And so now that, okay, we have a difference in opinion, but apparently this is real fucking important. Really? You're going to excommunicate me over this shit? By the way, I have to point out again, you care about black-owned businesses. Guess who you almost put out of work? If you guess me, one of your own fucking black people, you win a prize.
No fucking way.
Yes. We were suspending operations. It was like 3 days. And the only reason that I was able to make a living is because I fucking laid into my goddamn company. It's like, look, motherfucker, I'm willing to work through this shit. They're not going to fucking stop me. If I want to work here, last I checked, we volunteer to work here. It's a 1099 fucking thing. So you let me fucking work here, I fucking leave. And guess what? The next fucking day, say, hey, okay, if you want to work here, you can. But we're not doing the curfew thing anymore. It was because I laid into them specifically. Like, fuck you. You don't tell me what I can and can't do. I want to work here. Are there protests? Yes. Are they going to stop me? Good fucking luck.
I'd like to see them try.
They already tried. I drove through 2 of them.
Dude, next time you gotta break out the, hey, Black Lives Matter, roll down your window. Yes, I do. Let me pass.
No, I've been on the front lines this entire fucking time. So you would think that would make some, that give me some fucking chutzpah or something like that. Nah. Apparently not. I'm not invited to the party anymore. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm glad I know that now. 45 days ahead. Actually, probably 60 days ahead or whatever. Because this has been going on. Dude doesn't even answer my emails anymore. Like, really? Now that brings me to the other part of militia thing. That's why I named it this. I actually didn't even think about this.
Hey Bacon, I just got back from the Lost and Found. I couldn't find your point though.
Well, we're getting to that. So they call themselves a militia. But only if you agree with every politics that they agree with. Okay. Good to know. Fast forward to tonight. You want to know what happened tonight?
Oh, this should be fun.
Oh, it is. I kind of wish I was here. Now, the reason I wasn't here is because I ended up taking a run. It was for $10. It took me like 15 minutes. Do the math.
That's not too bad.
No. I was actually getting ready to fucking leave before this came in. But I took it. Because, as you know, I could use all the money I can get. Here's what happened 20 minutes before I pulled in. There's a apartment complex that
burst into flames? No, that's in my neck of the woods.
Even worse.
What happened?
Well, apparently there's an apartment there. I'm not going to give the number out because they may give out the block that I live on. Let's just say it's been a known problem area. And it's been that way for the last couple of months. If you remember, second day I was moving in, shit, that's when the cops actually showed up and arrested a bunch of people. Same fucking complex. Now, as I was pulling up to my block today, or tonight, rather, there was an undercover unit there. A white Crown Victoria. He had the exempt plates and everything. That's how you can tell it's an undercover. That's how you can tell it's a police unit. They're all exempt plates. Except for very few of them. Some of them actually do use regular plates. But those are rare. So I pull up. I see that. I just drive by. I don't care because I'm not a criminal anymore. I'm walking up to my unit. One of the guys who's there, the black guy who lives here, kind of say hi, like how's things going. I kind of tell him what's going on and all this stuff. And I'm starting to head upstairs, and one of the other guys comes out. He says, "Hey, you missed the fuck out." I'm like, what did I miss out on? He says, "Come down here. Come down back to the ground floor." And I walk down there with him. And he's pointing at this building, which has been a problem. It's managed by the same firm that manages my building. And they've been wanting to get rid of these people for a long time, by the way.
I'm going to guess they got their wish.
I'm gonna guess at least pretty fucking close. Bull Rush is in the chat, by the way. Bull Rush apparently doesn't sleep.
Well, that explains why he gets along with us so well.
I guess.
Or
Bull Rush, in case I could do, I think you could do three-way calling or whatever. Phone number for this show, 253-397-8430. That is 253-397-8430. I think I actually put that in the chat too, by the way. But yeah, so he points at them, and or he points at that apartment complex. And it was like somebody ended up just shooting into the air for whatever fucking reason. He shoots like 15 shots or some shit like that. And so there's a glass shop that's down the street from here. And they roll with like 8 fucking people. They come here to this apartment, by the way. They grab the landlord here. And sorry, Boris, I don't have the equipment to do the StreamYard thing or the YouTube thing. Sorry, that's why I'm doing the call-in thing. And so they grab him and they grab the landlord here, and they all go over. There's about like 9 or 10 of them. They kick in the front door, and they get these guys restrained and all this stuff. And then literally, like 3 minutes later, the police arrive. And they actually thank the people who showed up to do all this shit for them, basically.
What, to basically clear out the building?
They cleared out the building. They got these guys restrained and all this stuff. And then after that, like 3 minutes later, the police showed up. And the police actually, I asked them, I was like, did they restrain you guys or anything? You know, did they give you guys shit? And it was like, they were like, no. I was like, hey, thanks. They were like, thanks a lot. You know, you guys made our job a lot easier. And so I'm glad I named this what I did. We got another caller. Hang on. I don't know if I'm going to. Let's merge it. We got a conference call. I'm going to guess that's Bull Rush. Hello. You're on Wide Open Phones. Hello.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm just talking about, you know, I'm glad I live in the neighborhood I do now. Ray John says, Bacon comments, like the Instagram clip I sent you. I'll have to look at that later. I'm a little busy now in case you haven't noticed. Is everybody able to hear each other?
Did you ever buy a gun?
What was that?
Have you ever bought a gun yet? Bacon.
Have you ever bought a what?
A gun. A gun. Golf, umbrella, November, phonetically speaking.
No, I have not.
No broomstick, huh? Too bad.
Dude, there's a lot. It's funny you bring that up, actually. That's been a thing up here for the last 2 or 3 years or so. A lot of people, like, if it's raining, like, they'll either do like what I do is I just don't have any rain protection. I just fucking walk through it. Or they have the fucking golf umbrellas where it just covers themselves. That's what they're talking about. The big clear umbrellas that goes down to your ankles or whatever.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing up here.
Sounds like a human condom.
Pretty much. Except it's for rain. But yeah, that happened literally across the street from my place. the fucking local people, like from a glass shop, there was like 8 people. They showed up. They grabbed both of my neighbors, and they went across the street. They kicked in the door. They restrained these motherfuckers, and then the police arrived, and the police fucking thanked them.
It was the Boogaloo movement, right?
Exactly. My fucking point exactly was like, nah, we're not dealing with this shit. No, fuck that. We're handling this right fucking now.
But then they're probably going to say, but Bacon, we can't have any vigilante justice. That's what the police are for. Yeah, I guess you're right.
That shit don't fly out here. That shit does not fly out here.
Right, that's what I've been saying for a while, man. If you defund police, local police, like if you think like police brutality is an issue now, wait until you start getting roving bands of fucking vigilantes. They don't know about violence and stuff, man. I guarantee it. Or like a progression of violence or escalation of force or anything like that. They don't have rules of engagement. Vigilantes don't. They're going to fucking hit you in the head or shoot you first and ask questions later. And so that's what these cities are setting themselves up for. And I don't think they're ready for it.
Dude, people aren't ready for it. It would be okay to defund the police if people were more ready to take the law into their own hands or like defend themselves. But we all know they're not going to do that.
Well, that's what happened up here.
You're going to have 2 sets of people. You're going to have 2 sets of people that's going to be they're not willing to defend themselves or their property or anything like that. And then they're just going to have their shit taken away from them, or they're going to get fucking rickrolled, right? And you have the other group of people that are going to fucking band together, or they're going to have an itchy trigger finger, and they're going to be real quick on pulling a trigger on somebody.
That's what happened up here. That's what happened tonight. Yeah. And literally, I missed it by 20 minutes. That's what I was told. It was like, that shit happened real fucking quick. It was like some guy was just shooting in the fucking air, or shooting into the apartment for whatever the fuck he was doing. And then the guys from the fucking auto shop down the street, they came to our apartment, got our manager and one of the other guys here is like, no, we're going to go handle this shit now. And they just fucking descended on this goddamn apartment. It was like, no, they kicked the door down. It was like, no, we're taking care of you fucking assholes right fucking now. And then 3 minutes later, the fucking police arrived.
Why haven't the joggers gone into suburbia yet?
What?
Why haven't the joggers gone into suburbia yet? I don't fucking know.
Well, I mean, for the most part, they won't, because, for the stupidity that they have, they know enough to stay the fuck out of most suburban area neighborhoods.
Because the second they do, all bets are off.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you got to understand, too, guys, like, a lot of this violence that we're seeing on the media and stuff like that, it's relatively speaking, it is very isolated to certain parts of this country. Okay?
Portland specifically.
It's mainly in northern liberal cities and shit like that. And they have some around here where I'm at, but I mean, dude, like right now, I can go outside my fucking house and you can hear a goddamn cricket fart out there. It's so quiet.
That's good.
I can hear the traffic on the highway like half a mile away.
Wow.
What is the middle of nowhere you speak of?
That's how quiet it is out here. There's not people running around and shit out here acting silly. They're not going to do it. Because if they did, they'd get shot.
Maybe we should be encouraging them to do it then.
No, clear out the gene pool a little bit.
I don't think they're dumb enough to do it yet. I don't think they have the backing.
Oh, they may not have the backing, but they're definitely dumb enough to fucking do it.
Not
Trust me, they're dumb enough to do it. Hell, I've threatened to behead people, and they fucking reached out, you know, like, oh, well, you know, that's a threat, and I'm going to call the police. They're that fucking stupid.
And
Literally,
here,
they're that fucking stupid.
I'll just give you a little bit of reality, or a little bit of proportion and perspective. Is like our cops here, like our local law enforcement, like we have constables here that routinely patrol the area and stuff like that, and they live in the community with us. Their kids go to the school, our schools and stuff with our kids. We treat we're like on a first name basis with each other, you know, and we don't treat them like shit. We treat them like other human beings, you know.
Well, that's good. And that's how I think you should treat all. Look, you know what? Whatever you think about law, whatever you think about government or states or whatever, look, the people who, like you, Bull Rush, by the way, the people who potentially sign their fucking lives away to work in the line of duty, those are the people that you want on your side. Those are the people who actually have a stake. They care about the society that they're, again, willing to sign their fucking lives away. So those are the people you actually want on your side.
Exactly. It's like we have our the local county judge here in my county. He's done several Facebook videos where he's gotten on Facebook Live, and he said, "Look, the Texas governor has put a mandate on wearing masks and stuff." He said that our judge said, "Hey, look, I'm aware of the mandate, but I'm not exactly instructing my constables and sheriffs to enforce that." It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of common sense. I mean, there's still like a lot of common sense people, especially where I live and stuff, because we ain't got time for shit like that because we're busy. We got to work and stuff. You know, we got shit to do.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. You got better things to do.
So, you know, if there's any like the town foolery with these fucking kids coming around, you know, it's going to get shut down quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the other thing, too, it's like I've talked to a lot of the constables around here. They know me, I know them. And I'm asking the question, you know, if shit hits the fan, which side of the line are you going to be on? He's like, well, and most of them, they've all been like, well, hey, 3%er, man. You know.
Exactly what I've been saying this the entire fucking time.
Something.
Go ahead,
Nick. Headphones or something? You sound really garbled right now.
That's just how Bull Rush sounds. I can understand him, but
I don't know. Maybe it's something on my end.
Might be.
Probably, you're right.
That would be just my luck. Continue.
Well, I was gonna, from what Bull Rush said, this is why I'm not, you know. You expect somebody who's like a libertarian or anarchist or unbound like I am is like, oh, you got to be 100% against the police and the law enforcement and the military and all this shit. And fundamentally, you know, I would agree with that. But in the real world, look who we have. We have Boris. He was in the military. Joe Dolio was in the military. These people are on our side. Anybody who's willing to sign their life away for whatever cause they believe in, they're not going to stand for tyranny. They're not going to stand for fucking state power. They're going to fucking, if it comes to like actual tyranny, these people are going to fucking fight against it tooth and nail. Especially if they have, you know, a stake in the game. Like, I don't know, property and children, like both of those guys have.
Yeah.
They're going to stand and fucking fight. They're going to fight alongside with us.
Well, the thing about with the military personnel and stuff like that, took an oath to defend the Constitution, not any particular government or government body or the president or any political party. We took an oath to defend the Constitution, and that for a lot of military personnel and veterans, they take that as a lifelong oath, and a lot of police officers do as well.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because that's something I actually looked over. But you're 100% right. I remember that now. And now with some of the training I actually got, I never went into the military. So I can't speak to that directly, but I got some of that training. And you're 100% right. You're there to defend the Constitution. You're there to defend your fellow citizens. Whether it's against threats that are outside or it's threats against, that's inside. That's the government. That's whatever's being tyrannical or whatever.
We took an oath to defend the Constitution against any enemy, foreign or domestic. And the thing is,
foreign or domestic. There you go. And there you have it.
That's a nuance that a lot of civilians don't understand or don't know about. A lot of civilians will say, well, y'all took an oath to defend the government or the United States. No, we didn't. We took an oath to defend the Constitution. We're not beholden to a political party or a government body,
Exactly. No, you're 100% right. I'll throw this out there, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this. You hear the people talk about their anti-gun or their anti-Second Amendment or gun control is like, oh, but I know it's kind of a side tangent, but I think it's kind of related. When they say, you have to have a well-regulated militia, they focus on the well-regulated part. Now, as far as I could tell, you have the regular military. That's what you're part of. You're part of the Marine Corps. You have the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, Coast Guard, whatever. Okay, that's the official part of the United States military. Understood. So what's the militia? And as far as I know, that's pretty much everybody else.
Yeah.
Everyone else is part of the militia. So it's not some official group. It's literally everyone else who has their shit together.
Yeah, basically the militia. See, you have two different. You have the regular army, right? Your Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, Navy, and all that good stuff. But then you have the citizenry that can join together and form a cohesive group called militia. And the militia is just basically regular dudes.
It was an important thing. I hope you guys heard that. Sorry, please continue.
But yeah, you have militias, just regular dudes, civilians, but we're still considered a paramilitary force if we're properly grouped and stuff like that. And there's rules behind that too. You just can't be you just can't show up in boogaloo shorts and a fucking Hawaiian shirt. I mean, unless that's what y'all are all rolling with as a uniform, but there's rules to that too. Otherwise, you're considered, if you're not militia, you're considered you're just considered a what do they call it?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I consider them the fucking patriots that I've been fighting with for the last 2 fucking weeks now. But, to your point, it's like, you know what? You're the average citizen, you have your arms, and you have the ability to, what do you call it? Collaborate or cooperate with other people. You can make yourself into a cohesive unit, and basically that's what makes you a militia. You may have your own patch, you may have your own uniform that's kind of would define you as whatever militia you have there. You have your own marching orders and all that stuff.
Yeah, you still have a military type hierarchy and command structure even within militia. You have to, in order for it to function properly. You also have to have a set uniform that everyone wears at the same time. Patches and stuff, I'm not 100% clear on that. I'll probably have to do some research on that. But regardless, there are rules to having a militia and what it comprises a militia. And the thing about in the Constitution, with it being a well-regulated militia, it just means well-armed. It means you have guns and you have a certain amount of ammunition and stuff to do your job. That's all well-regulated means.
Okay. That I actually didn't know. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you have to go look at the Constitution itself, and you have to see at the time the words were written, you have to look at what the common definition of what well-regulated was at that time, which the definition has not changed. It's still part of regulated. It's still an old definition. The thing is that stupid people think that one word only has one fucking definition, and that's it, but they're retarded. Regulated can mean several different things within context. And that's what they don't fucking understand. They don't see a lot of these leftists. They don't understand context or nuance.
They don't. You're right.
They think that shit is just black and white, and that's it. And it's a very childish and naive way to look at things, because life isn't like that. Anyone with a fully developed brain and be able to use logic can see that. And the ones that say that they want gun control, they're against the Second Amendment. They're not against people having guns. They're just not against. They're against you and me having guns. They're fine with their group having guns.
I was gonna say that. You're right. Actually, keep going.
Well, apparently not, because there's ordinances to take cops' weapons away.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do, because what's going to happen is that they're going to take the guns away from the cops because they don't control the cops. Okay, but you can be damn well certain that once they do take the cops' guns away and everybody else's, they're going to redistribute those guns. But they're going to redistribute those guns inside the hands of their people.
They're going to use them for themselves.
Exactly.
And then they're basically going to overthrow the police so they can pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's going to be 1940s Germany, because that's what Germany did. Germany, you look at all the communist and fascist countries that have come before in history, even recently. The first thing that they do is when they come to power, they disarm the civilians.
Exactly. That's the first order of business. You make sure you have no recourse against actual force. They will make sure that you cannot shoot back against anything that they want to do in the future. Please continue.
And then they take the guns away from the citizenry and the civilians, but they don't burn them. They redistribute those guns in the hands of their trusted people. And that's when you start having people getting pulled out in their fucking houses in the middle of the night and thrown on a fucking rail car. That's what happens. And it's happened all the time, every time, inside a communist or fascist dictatorship, basically.
It's about to happen now. It's what I was trying to warn people against, but they don't want to fucking listen. It's you guys. You guys watch I Am Legend? The movie I Am Legend.
Somewhere where it was like the reason they're trying to take our guns away is because they're about to do something that we would probably shoot them for.
Exactly. No, you're right about that. You're 100% right about that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what they do. Because you think up until now, inside just American history, we've not seen the Second Amendment gone after so hard as it has been over the past 15, 20 years. It's not. And there's a reason why that. You got to think about it. It's like, why do they want to go after the Second Amendment so hard? They don't go after any other amendment as hard as the Second Amendment. Not the first, third, or 20th.
Or the fifth.
Yeah. Or any of them. radio, because they know that if they're able to supplant the Second Amendment, they can supplant all the other amendments.
That's the one that protects every single other amendment.
Well, they pretty much already have.
You what?
They pretty much already have.
Have what? Supplanting the other.
Yeah, the other amendments in some way, shape, or form.
Well, the First Amendment's still pretty wide open, man. It's like, I mean, and it's really created a crisis of conscience, to me at least, with the First Amendment, because with the Supreme Court rulings back in the early 1900s, or the early 20th century, they left it wide open for journalists and stuff like that to make it very difficult to hold them accountable for shitty reporting and stuff like they're doing now. Because the thing is, like the Supreme Court justices at the time, I think it was back in the 60s, the 70s, that they made this decision, these decisions, is that they never thought American journalists would get this fucking retarded. Because, I mean, they're all about outrage articles and stuff like that. So, and I don't think they ever thought that they would get this bad.
Well, it was that bad before. It's like there was a kind of time in like the early 1900s up till like the 90s where journalists were mostly on. They were mostly honest, but before that, it was like so bad that most people didn't even believe the Civil War had started.
Oh yeah, because you have because that's whenever here in America you had the implementation of the yellow journalism. What we would call now fake news, they used to call yellow journalism, and that was actually started between William Randolph Hearst and I forget the other big news guy back in the day, but they were going at each other in competition to sell the most newspapers, and they would just fucking make up shit. They would just make up stories about anything. Yeah, and that's when you started seeing yellow journalism, and then that stuff kind of leveled off, and then you kind of had I wouldn't say a golden age, but it got a lot better, and then now because of the interconnectivity of mainstream media and technology and stuff, it started. Not only has it restarted, but it's gotten worse.
Yep.
Nick, you got something going on in the background there.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it out. I'm getting tired.
All right, fair. And start getting late in the hour here. Thank you both for tuning in. Thank you both for calling in. You came in with a lot of information I didn't actually know about, and I appreciate you coming in with that.
Yeah, history's a motherfucker.
I'll tell you what, man, it's gonna.
A lot of it is cyclical, man, because the thing about history is you're dealing with human nature, and human nature doesn't change.
No, it doesn't.
And a lot of our history is dependent on human nature, and it's like most of this shit. It's not one for one the same, but it's similar. A lot of this stuff we've seen it before. Like with the yellow journalism, that's happened before. The fake news, that happened before. It happened 100 years ago, but it's
still happening now.
And yeah, and now we're seeing a resurgence. However, what we didn't have then that we do now is the electronic age, where news, instead of news taking 3 or 4 weeks to reach a certain group of people, or for people to become aware, it happens almost instantly.
Yeah, you're right.
Because actually, during the Civil War, when the Civil War ended and the treaty was signed at Appomattox, there were still places that were still fighting the Civil War, I think a month or two after the treaty was signed, because that's how long it took for the news to actually reach those areas, the population.
Yeah, you know what? You're right about that. I forgot about that, but no, you're 100% right. Yeah, like, you know, the Civil War was settled, but there were still people who were fighting about it because they hadn't gotten the news. It was like, okay, this is over.
Like a month or two after. Yeah, this was like a month or 2, 3 months after the treaty at Appomattox was signed and done, you know. But it took like another 2 or 3 months. So, I mean, you wouldn't see that now. I mean, that shit would be that kind of stuff would be televised and broadcasted everywhere, all around the world, simultaneously. You know.
Right. No, you're right about that. That's something I hadn't thought about. Yeah, you know, as safety doc can put that up. You know, the velocity of information. Now it's a little bit on the other end of the spectrum now these days. But what you were saying about way back in the day, you didn't get that information real quickly, so you may still be fighting each other, and you don't even realize the war is fucking ended.
It was weeks and months. I think it was like weeks and months before people knew Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
That too.
You know? That's how long it took for news to travel around the country. You know, it's not like that now.
I got questions here from Ray John. If you want to answer those, he's got a few of those. If you want to answer them, then why did the army invade Iraq? He asked that about 20 minutes ago. I'm just getting to him now.
Which time? Like the first time or the second time?
I'm gonna guess the second time, just to make it simple. Now I actually know about this, so I can speak about this too. But what do you think? You were actually in the army. I just studied it.
Well, the first time back in the 90s was strictly because Iraq invaded Kuwait, and that was, you know, Kuwait supplied us with a shit ton of oil, and so we had an obligation to defend that border and stuff. That was pretty clear cut. The second time, this most recent time, was I have no idea. It was a lie that was pushed by the military and by the mainstream media.
Speaking as far as the military goes, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was the higher ups that may have benefited from the war. Actually, it wasn't like people who be on the ground that was actually pushing this.
No, actually, the Vice President Tom Dick Cheney, he had he had stock in Halliburton, which is a major oil company here in America and across the globe. That shit there. I'm gonna tell you like this. There's only 2 reasons countries go to war. Okay, it's either over sex or resources. Okay, like hard resources, like oil, gold, shit like that, and diamonds. That's the only 2 reasons: sex and fucking resources.
Boris is not wrong. He's not wrong about this at all.
The last major war, even in World War II, the thing with World War II, that wouldn't have been a big deal if, number one, Japan had not attacked us. But besides that, what got everyone worked up about Germany was that they were pushing into Africa real hard, real fast. And why were they doing that?
Yeah.
For oil resources. Because
I remember reading that, yeah.
Because they needed that oil at the time to power their military force, which was considerable at the time. So that small of a country to put out the military might that it did at the time and they really did overwhelm Europe. And if it wasn't for England being located where it was geographically speaking, I mean, they leveled fucking England with air raids and shit and rockets. You know, their fucking proto rockets and stuff. And they did a damn good job leveling England. in the UK, and it's the major cities there. And if it weren't for where England was at the time, because England was almost kind of right there with them, with Germany as far as manufacturing and stuff, and that manufacturing level and stuff. We weren't there yet. Even America wasn't there at the time. We had to rapidly change how we manufactured shit, just to stay barely level with them. So yeah, this second shit here with Iraq is a bunch of bullshit. Now Afghanistan is probably a little different story, but honestly, if we were going to if we should have been attacking anybody, we should have invaded Saudi Arabia. But since Saudi Arabia is basically like our main supplier of oil, we didn't do it.
Awesome.
You know, we're not going to bite the hand that feeds us, because we were even at that time, U.S. was extremely dependent on the Middle East for its oil supplies. Like we were getting more than that. Like the vast majority of our oil consumption that we were importing was from the Middle East and Saudi Arabia in particular.
Awesome. You heard it from somebody who was on the front lines himself. That's what I want to hear here. I'm glad to hear that. Let's get to his other comments. Don't worry, you don't have to comment on these other ones. Or maybe right-winger or homosexuals. Okay, that's just a common insult.
No, I like that. Right-wingers are homosexual.
Fine, whatever.
I don't know about the right-winger part, but the homosexual part, I'll copy that.
Let them talk shit. Let them talk shit. Go ahead.
Well, it's funny, man. I mean, shit. It's a funny troll.
It is.
I like funny trolls.
You know. Well,
I like funny trolls. It's not funny. I get kind of upset about it. It's kind of offensive. Trump has violated the First Amendment numerous times. I need examples. Well, I mean, you just can't say that and just leave it at that. I mean, you have to actually, if you're going to make it.
Don't worry, we got more.
Communist gave us the AK-47 greatest. I disagree. I don't think the AK-47 is the greatest weapon ever. I think
you can see that. Okay, I was going to read that, but okay. The communists gave us the great AK-47, greatest weapon. By the way, that was a direct copy from the fascists. That would be the Germans. That was their MP40.
Yeah.
It came from that. It was a direct copy.
Yeah, and I have to disagree about being the greatest weapon ever. It's probably the most proliferative, but actually the greatest weapon of that era, if you want to call it that, is the FAL rifle from Belgium.
All right.
In fact, they called it shit. They even gave it a nickname, the arm of democracy. I shit you not. That's what the FAL has been used. It's probably the most proliferative fucking rifle in the history of combat weapons.
So it's even better than the AK-47, is what you're saying.
Oh, definitely, because as soon as the FAL was a full size rifle. If you want to talk about an assault rifle, like a battle rifle, that's the FAL. The FAL is a true.
Oh wait, hang on, wait a minute. I missed it. The FAL.
Yeah.
It's what if I remember correctly, that's the 7.62 by 51. That's the one. It's single shot. It's like 20. It has a 20 round magazine, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's the FAL is considered a full blown battle rifle. It came out before the M16 was ever thought of. It's been in service since 1953.
Yeah. That's an old rifle, and that one is, I think it's still in service today, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Yeah, there's variants, but yeah, the variants of the FNFAL, they're still in service. You can still find them in Europe. Major companies or major militaries and countries still use them to this day, and you can find them all over Africa. They were the Cold War era fucking rifle back in the day, and they were highly sought after by collectors even now.
And it's still in use today. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even though it was a 1960s weapon, it's still in use today. 60 years fucking later.
It was designed between 1947 and 1953, so you're talking about shortly after World War II and all the way through the Korean War.
All right, so even earlier than I thought.
And it's been used by 90 plus countries in the world. And yeah, you're right. The actual back in the day, it was called the right arm of the free world. That was the actual nickname, the right arm of the free world. And it's chambered in 7.62 by 51, which is, I believe, a 308 cartridge. That's
what I would use. If I had a patrol rifle, that's what I'll be using.
Yeah, it's a full 20-inch barrel on that bad boy, and it's not light. It's not light.
But it will get the job done, I imagine. That's the point. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, and I think the first ones came out, they were at a little over 13 pounds. So they're not light at all.
13 pounds ain't nothing to me, to be honest with you. I can carry that easily.
Yeah, okay.
But that's just me.
Just to give you a little bit of perspective on that gun weighed in at a little over 13 pounds. Your modern AR-15 probably weighs in around 7 to 8 pounds.
Fully loaded, I'm guessing.
7 to 8 pounds. Really fucking.
Oh, question. Yeah. Before I read Ray John's last comment, and then we'll close this out. We had talked before about you had a SAW and 249.
Yeah.
What is the total weight of that? When it's fully loaded. Now you had plates and all this other stuff. You have to carry everything else. I understand that, but how much does a fully loaded SAW weigh?
Oh, I gotta go way back. It's actually lighter than the M60, which the M60 shot. The M60 was chambered in 308.
M60 is pretty fucking heavy.
Yeah,
I know the SAW is a smaller caliber, so it's probably a little bit lighter.
I've shot the M60 before, and it's a beast. It's fucking beast mode. I loved it. I loved it. But the SAW is a squad automatic weapon, and it's chambered at 5.56, the same thing that your the M4 and 16 platforms are. They're also chambered at 5.56. As far as the weight, they were considerably lighter than the M60. Ask me how I know. And then,
all right.
They were a gas-operated, air-cooled light machine gun. They weren't considered a heavy. It wasn't considered a heavy machine gun just because most of your heavy machine guns, like the M60, they're like water-cooled and shit like that, and you had to change out the barrels and shit on them. So, as far as weight, they about 16 pounds empty, and about 22 pounds fully loaded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to sling on a shoulder, basically. Especially when you're carrying like a big ass backpack that has like 50 pounds of shit on it.
Well, you usually had so like when you had a SAW gunner, like I would carry the SAW, and I'd carry some of the rounds, and I'd have another guy with me, that would carry the vast majority of the rounds. You know. And
Okay. All right.
So whenever you set up set up like a crossfire with saws, because you usually travel with 2 or 3 of them in a platoon, so you can set up crossfires, a crossfire pattern. You didn't just have one. You know, you had 2 or 3 of them. And you'd set them up in such a way to create a crossfire ambush or defilade. Okay, and so basically, you would set these guns up in such a way that it would cause a crossfire situation and stuff like that. And you have one guy operating the gun, and then you had a loader. You know, the guy would sit there and fucking load the son of a bitch out. If you had to, he would. I think you on the side you can still change the barrel out and shit too. And it was really easy. You just fucking pop the thing, and you pull the thing out, put another one in. It took like seconds. So that's basically how it was operating. Not much to it. I wish I had one. That'd be nice. Shit.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I think every household, it should be protected by a AAA fire. You know what AAA fire is? Yeah, aircraft artillery fire, basically.
Yeah.
Now it works wonders for people who are on the ground, but for aerial attacks, we attack them too. Fuck that.
Well, we got SAMs and stuff now too, so there's that. And AA fire, I mean, AA guns are pretty big. You know, they're like fucking cannons. And the maintenance on them and upkeep is just, it's too much. That's a completely crew server weapon, and that's a multi-man server weapon. It's like you got multiple men maintaining that thing. But you got to clean that son of a bitch out, just like a rifle barrel.
Right. All right, let's go through the rest of Ray John's things here, and I'm going to close this out here because I need to get some sleep. Okay. Ray John says AK-47 beat the M16 in the Vietnam War. All hail Pol Pot and Elizabeth Warren. What the fuck? Really? Neither one of them had to do with anything with either of those weapons. So I don't know why the fuck you thought of this.
He's a troll. Well, I will agree there. The AK-47 at the time did beat the M16A1, and to a degree A2. But to compare both of them, it's just really, it's apples and oranges, really, to compare those two. Because the AK-47 was a bolt-driven rifle as opposed to the M16, which is
the M16 is a little bit more precise. It had more tolerances. That's what the AK-47 was known for. It was like, you could just fucking drag it through anything. And it was just fucking fine. The M16 was a little bit more precise as far as it goes. You know?
That's the thing. Like the AK-47 was made in what we refer to as a loose made weapon. It's just the tolerances were not as tight as they were on the M16 platforms. But the thing is, and also the thing is too, is that the M16 was built for marksmanship. And I think they made it. I think that was a mistake on their part, because you could take an M16, any platform M16 will outmatch AK-47 as far as accuracy and marksmanship. Like you can hit 400 or 500 yards on an M16 with a 20-inch barrel. You can't do that shit with an AK-47. I mean, you can, but it's a lot more difficult. That said, the M16 carried a smaller round than the AK-47. I think the AK-47 was chambered 7.62 by 48 or 51 in some variances. So they were carrying like a full 308 round, you know, in some of the variances.
You got two more comments to read the what he had to put out there. Ray John had.
So the flag burning, yes, the flag burning is protected by the First Amendment. He should burn, they should burn. I mean, I don't get too fucking worked up about the flag burning shit. It's just, if you want to burn a fucking flag, burn a flag on your shit. I mean,
I don't particularly care, but you know what? I don't like it either, to be honest with you. It's like, look, you live.
But I mean,
keep in mind, Ray John, he kind of lives part-time into the United States, part-time into the Canadian place. But the reason he lives in our neck of the woods is because he likes our place. So why the fuck would he burn the fucking flag? I don't think he's doing it, but the fact that he's okay with it, that is kind of fucking disturbing, to be honest. It's like, why the fuck would you be okay with burning the fucking flag?
I think it's a troll. And I mean,
well, that's what he does, to be honest with you. He does that to be a troll.
Yeah, he's going to be a troll. I mean, I don't particularly like burning the flag. I think there's other better ways to speak out against things, or if you want to, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you hate America that bad and you live here, then go find somewhere else to live. I mean,
a lot of times they are in other places to live.
Well, it's fine. I don't give a fuck. It's their country.
That's why they do it.
If you're an American and you live in America and you're burning the flag at a protest or something, it's like there's other ways to protest. You know, you could get involved with your fucking local politics and stuff like that. That's a good way to start. Flag burning.
Well, this brings us to his last point here. Gun ownership is done. All you Nazis do is duck hunt a whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck he meant there.
Do what?
That was his last comment. Gun ownership is done. Is dumb. All you Nazis do is duck hunt. I don't know. That's what he said.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something, motherfuckers. Duck hunt level 30 is what separates the men from the boys, motherfuckers. You get to level 30, you get past level 30, hey, you can hang, if you can hang past there, you're good to go. You're good to go. You're in the zone, baby. You're fucking Neo in the Matrix and seeing all the shit for what it is. You know, you're seeing all the code. When you get past level 30, that's what it's like on duck hunt. Because them ducks, man, they come out 3 at a time and go boop, 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 and they're gone. They're gone.
And with that, I think I'm out of here. I'm good. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna maybe cook some beef or something, and I'm out of here.
Those ducks come out of the bushes. They bounce off the screen at one time, and they're gone, dude. And they do it so fast. Like you got to be over in IT to get them. 3 at a time. Shit.
I'm good.
Go get you that old Super NES and fucking play duck on that. Get your little fucking light gun and stand about 15 feet away and play duck on. And then call me when you get to level 30. Just call me and let me know how it goes.
You know what's sad? You're right about it. That's the bad part. You're right about this.
Hell yeah. I remember me and my dad fucking, oh my God, we burned that game up. We burned the first game up and we bought it again just to fucking tear it up. Because me and him we'd have competitions at night with the duck hunt.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, we're fucking crazy. We're fucking crazy. It was the only time I could stay up past like midnight and not get my ass chewed out. We'd be, me and my dad would be fucking locked in this fucking death row duck hunt, just going back and forth.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna go take a shower and then
Thank God. I'm gonna smell all
figure out what the hell I'm gonna cook. And then I'm done for tonight. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a nap and fucking go down and fix my fence. Motherfuckers.
Jesus Christ. Hey, real quick, before I close this out, you said you had some leads onto getting employment or something. Have you been able to get somebody lately?
I've got some interviews set up this coming week. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, as far as sales, I'll just fucking go out on the street corner out there.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that, man.
I'll fucking put on some tight pants and a medium shirt and just fucking stand out on the fucking street corner. And I'll just pump myself out. I'll prostitute myself out to these fucking soccer moms and shit.
All right, well, okay. I was just wondering if you had any employment. That's all I was wondering about. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Because the thing is, like, I'm kind of a unicorn in that with my previous work experience and the amount of years I have doing that work, a lot of people don't have it. And it's highly sought after, so it's just a matter of, and I'm not even availing myself to all of the opportunities that I could as far as job opportunities, because I'm mainly looking for remote work so I can stay home.
Okay.
I've been out of the office setting so long, working at my home, that I don't ever want to go back to an office again. I just don't.
All right. Good. I asked because I was worried, that I want to make sure you're okay. That's all I wanted.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I wanted to hear. If you're okay, you can get your own employment and all this stuff. Aside from all this other bullshit, that's what I was asking about.
But now I'm just making more razors. So I'm buy my shit.
Okay, so you're good. All right.
Yeah, I'm good, brother.
And I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get out of here.
I'm going to take a nap. I'll talk to you later.
I'm going more for a nap. More than that. This is about my nap time anyways.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
Take care, man.
All right, later.
All right, so plenty of people talk without the biggest thing is going on anyways. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Until next time, take care, stay free, and tell anyone else thinks of us. Be cast, my friends.